I'm going to be talking to you guys about some of the secrets in looking at some of these major pumps in the markets and how I look at it to turn some of these pullbacks into possible opportunities. Now, I do think there is a good time to trade bigger altcoins, like anything from number 2 to 200. I think those are bigger altcoins that are more safe. I usually trade them with leverage, right? Because otherwise they don't have the volatility of the smaller altcoins. And of course, that's based on my risk tolerance. I do have a higher risk tolerance. Of course, it's going to come with some downside as well. Now, I do also think that there is a good time to trade smaller altcoins, especially when Bitcoin has broken through um, or started its bull cycle. And I personally think it has just started its bull cycle, right? Back in just last month when it broke through that 110K level. Of course, it has to hold it, otherwise, that's going to be very bad for the altcoins. Now, I'm going to be talking about ZORA in this video, which had a pretty good couple of weeks. It has had major movements in the past couple of weeks, almost 10xing. Okay, when it went from about zero point 0.8 cents to where it is right now, about about 9.5. So that's more than a 10x. But it went as far as almost a 20x. So how am I looking at some of these coins, right? Especially after huge movements like this, am I looking to get in at some of these levels, right? What levels would I be taking a look at, and how would I actually play this? Now, on the weekly time frame here, it has actually pulled back. I'm looking at the RSI, okay, which is basically went up to about 79, which is not too high, okay. So I think that's reasonable. It's not. It wasn't like super overheated on a scale of 1 to 100. So that doesn't tell me it's like too dangerous, right? To look for an opportunity to get in for a long here. Now it is pulling back to about 73. Okay, 72, 73. So that's not too high. If we actually zoom in a little further, this is the 3 day time frame where there is bearish divergence, where basically it tells you, where there's a higher high on the price action chart right here compared to this one, but with a lower high on the RSI. That is classic bearish divergence. If you guys are familiar with, just Google it. I mean, that would tell you a lot more than what I could tell you here, right? It usually indicates a pullback, short and simple, which we're seeing right now. Now, this, when I see bearish divergence, I'm looking for, usually a pullback, and I'm looking at possible support where this price action could bounce. In this case, the first level of support would potentially be about 9.2 cents. Okay. If I was looking for opportunities in this market, I mean, I'm just saying me personally, not financial advice, right? Like the rest of this video. It's not financial advice, but potentially I could get into a long position here at about 9.2 cents just for a very short profit. Okay. I'm not looking to hold this with the leverage position. Okay. And I'm just saying for example, not literally. Okay. I'm just saying for example, if I have some dry powder, that is potentially what I would look at. Now, if we actually zoom into the daily time frame, there is quite a bit of bearish divergence as well. It hasn't hit this daily 21 SMA here just yet. So that could still be a bounce there, maybe a decent bounce. Okay. That's about 8.6 cents, which is pretty in line with what I said about the 3 day time frame there, right? About it's in that range. Okay. I do think it's probably gonna hit that daily 21 SMA. I'm not sure if it's gonna hold because there's quite a bit of bearish divergence, right? If it doesn't hold, then it could potentially come down to the next level of support, which could be about 7 cents, right? Which is in this zone here. So that is what I'm seeing as potential upside, a bounce or support. Um, if certain support levels don't hold. Let's also mention that there is a falling wedge pattern, okay, on the 6 hour time frame, and the price target here is about 13 cents, 13.5 cents. Let's see if it reaches that price target. Price targets are estimates only. There could be more or less, right? It very much depends on, a lot of it is going to depend on Bitcoin, okay? If Bitcoin starts dumping, that's gonna be very bad for your altcoins. Okay. So I did a more detailed video on Bitcoin on my longer video today. I will link you guys there. And this basically wraps it up for my analysis on Zora. If you guys want to continue seeing any more of Zora, um, do drop a like, comment, subscribe, or any other coins in this market. I am long on Bitcoin and quite a bit of altcoins in this market. So let me know if you guys want to see any other coins in this market by dropping a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.